Today I will talk about customer analytics matrix. This is lecture 1 of the topic, and these lectures are part of my series of lectures on business analytics. So this is my lecture outline. I will be having two lectures on customer analytics matrix. In first lecture, I will give introduction. Then I will talk about customer acquisition and retention matrix. Then I'll talk about customer retention, churn, and value matrix. Then about customer satisfaction and experience matrix. So this will be in my present lecture. This is lecture 1, and these are the topics for lecture 2. So customer journey is not just a single transaction, but it is the entire experience a customer has with a brand. It is an end-to-end process. It typically includes multiple stages like awareness, consideration, purchase, retention, and advocacy. So there are various touch points. So these touch points may be physical or digital touch points. So touch points are specific interaction when customer interact with a brand, and these are the few examples. And in this figure, there are many touch points. Customer analytics metrics are crucial for understanding and improving the customer experience, driving business growth, and making informed decisions across various aspects of the operations. These are the steps of use of customer analytics metrics. So it is a cyclic process. Actually, we start with identify the metric relevant to our business because not all the metrics are applicable for all the businesses. Then we define clear and quantifiable goals, and then we divide the goals into stages. Then we collect relevant data from various touch points and we analyze the data comprehensively. Then we act on insights with urgency and we monitor the results of action taken. And by these processes, we continuously improve. So it is a continuous process. So first of all, I'll talk about customer acquisition and retention metrics. So average revenue per account or ARPA and monthly recurring revenue or MRR is the first metrics I'll talk about. Then I'll talk about customer acquisition cost, then about customer acquisition cost ratio, then about customer acquisition cost payback period, then about customer retention cost, and finally customer retention cost ratio in my first class of customer metrics. So ARPA and MRR measures the revenue generated by each customer or account. ARPA stands for average revenue per account. It is used for subscription-based business, and ARPA is also known as ARPU. Then monthly recurring revenue or MRR is the number of active accounts multiplied by ARPA. It is the company's normalized monthly revenue. Types of monthly recurring revenue include new MRR, that is from new customers, expansion MRR, that is by cross-selling or upselling to existing customers, then churn MRR, that is loss due to customer churn, and this churn MRR have a negative sign. So net new MRR is the summation of all these three. For non-subscription based business, how to go about. So we can try premium membership scheme. So then we will have ARPA and MRR similar to the subscription based business. Or the second option is we can take moving average of revenue as MRR, and then the difference between current period and the moving average can be considered as either expansion or contraction. Customer acquisition cost. It measures the average cost of acquiring a new customer. The formula is this. For example, if we spend $36,000 to acquire 1,000 customers, then the customer acquisition cost is $36. important to note that CAC exclude repeat customers. It only accounts for new customers and not new orders from existing customers. Customer acquisition cost is directly influenced by funnel metrics like cost per click, cost per lead, lead close rate, and conversion rate. And one key metric that should never be ignored when analyzing customer acquisition cost is the customer lifetime value. I'll talk about customer lifetime value later in my present lecture. The relationship between CAC and customer lifetime value is fundamental for assessing the long-term value generated from each customer beyond just cost to acquire them. Then factors affecting CAC include industry factors, business model related factors, customer acquisition channels, and target audience. So these are the factors affecting customer acquisition cost. Then about CAC ratio, the formula for CAC ratio is this. And it is important that we optimize this ratio to 3 or higher. And the benchmark is that it varies between 2.1 and 6 as per 2024 report, regardless of company size, ARR, and any other revenue metrics. As such, the CAC ratio takes gross margin over the cost of customer acquisition and track its over time. Then CAC payback period. It is a crucial metric that indicates how long it takes for a business to recoup the investment made in acquiring a new customer. It is essentially the time it takes for a customer revenue to offset the cost acquiring them. This is the formula. The period is typically measured in months and it is a key indicator of a company's financial health, particularly for subscription-based business. It is a crucial matrix for understanding the efficiency of customer acquisition strategies and the overall financial health of a business. So this is the customer acquisition cost payback period. So this is the cost of acquiring customers. The x-axis represent time, and this is the time taken to recover the customer acquisition cost. So this is the CAC payback point. And then this is the customer lifetime value. So this is what we get from the customer over the customer lifetime. And if we upsell and cross sell, we can improve this. Then customer retention cost. This is the formula for customer retention cost. It is the total cost for retaining customers per customer. And these are the various costs which are known as the retention cost. And this is the example if a firm spends $1 million over various retention costs during the year and it retained 10,000 customers. So we have a CRC of $100 per customer. Then CRC ratio, it is a key metric in business that represents the total expenses incurred to retain existing customer as a percentage of ARR or MRR, depending on whether we are calculating annually or monthly. Then the next set of the customer analytics metrics include customer retention, churn, and value matrices. So these are various matrices under this heading. So first is customer churn rate, then revenue churn rate, then customer retention rate, then customer lifetime value, then average order value, then repeat purchase rate, customer loyalty index, then loyalty redemption rate. Customer churn rate, it measures the percentage of customers who stop using our product or services over a defined period. These are various formulas which we can use to define the customer churn rate, and it can be used to estimate customer lifespan. This can be taken as another matrix, and the average customer lifespan is equal to 1 divided by customer churn rate percentage. So then revenue churn rate, this is the formula for revenue churn rate. Customer and revenue churn rate are not identical. This discrepancy will only grow as we gain more product lines or the price difference between product line grows. Then customer retention rate, repeat customer are more profitable than new customers. This we already know. It is more cost effective to retain existing customer than to acquire new ones. So this is an important metric. And this metric retention rate measures a percentage of customers who continue to do business with us. In other words, it is a percentage of customers who sign up and are expected to be around in each successive month. This is the formula. Then customer lifetime value, it measures the total revenue a company can expect from a single customer during the entire course of relationship. And there are multiple definitions. These are the various definitions of formulae for calculation of customer lifetime value, where the gross margin is defined as this. So the benefits of calculating customer lifetime value include the ability to identify high value customers, and we can optimize marketing and advertising spend, and we can improve customer retention efforts. So customer lifetime value can be measured using following approaches. One is historical approach, then the other is cohort analysis. I have lecture on cohort analysis using Tableau and Power BI in my channel. Then we can also do predictive CLTV estimation by statistical methods. We can also have a formula of CLTV based on retention rate. Then another metric is average order value. It represents the average amount customers spend per order. This is the formula. It helps in business decisions related to price, promotion, product offerings, and inventory. Then repeat purchase rate, it is the share of customers making at least two purchases. So this is the formula for repeat purchase rate. Then customer loyalty. Customer loyalties can be of two types, behavioral and emotional. Emotional one is more important. So the customer loyalty metric is a comprehensive metric that track matrices like repeat purchases, engagement, and brand advocacy. Following are the matrices which are included to get the customer loyalty. Then customer loyalty index is also a comprehensive metric. So these three matrices actually are assessed on a scale from 1 to 6, and then the average is taken. And these include likelihood to recommend, repurchases, and try new offerings. Then loyalty redemption rate. Many companies have loyalty programs. In my second lecture, I will describe the matrices of loyalty programs. And loyalty redemption rate looks at whether customers are actively engaged with it. So this is the formula and the number of factors that influence loyalty redemption rate, such as the perceived value of a program, ease of earning and spending points, expiration dates, and variety of rewards. This helps identify which customers are the most enthusiastic loyalty members and indicate which type of points and rewards are redeemed more than others. Then the third set of customer analytics metrics include customer satisfaction and experience metrics. These include various matrices. One is customer satisfaction score or CSAT. The other is net promotion score or NPS. Third is referral rate, then upsell and cross-sell rate, then customer effort score, customer health score, online rating and reviews, voice of the customer, and customer satisfaction index. These two are in fact a comprehensive matrices. So first of all, customer satisfaction score, it measures how satisfied customers are with our product, service, or specific interactions. This is the formula, and the responses are in a scale from 1 to 5, where 1 means dissatisfied customer and 5 being very satisfied customer. And positive responses, that is numerator, include the responses which are 4 and 5. The net promotion score is a metric that measures customer loyalty and satisfaction by gauging the likelihood to recommend a company, product, or service to others. It ranges from -100 to +100, and responses are from scale 0 to 10. And this is the scale where 0 to 6 actually represent detractors, and 7 and 8 are passive, whereas 9 and 10 are promoters. So this is the formula for net promotion score, where we have the difference between the promoters and detractors. Referral rate, it is the share of new customers from referral. This is the formula. It validates the loyalty of existing customers. Upsell or cross-sell rate indicates that customer trust us, and as this is the formula. And upsell and cross-sell depends on product quality as well as customer loyalty. Customer effort score, it measures the ease or difficulty customer experience when interacting with our company and using our product or services. The lower the effort required, the higher the customer effort score. And this is actually how we get the metrics. So we assess this on a survey, and this is the formula for customer effort score. Then customer health score, it analyzes various customer behavior and assign a score to predict the likelihood of staying or churning of customers. This score, unlike other customer satisfaction matrices, identifies behavior pattern over a period, and various aspects which are included in this are these. And we can categorize our customers into weak customers, healthy customers, or at-risk customers. Online ratings and reviews. So this is an example from internet. This is how the reviews are analyzed. Then voice of the customer. Voice of the customer matrix is a quantitative representation about how our customers view the value of our platform and its ease of use. This analytic does not rely on specific mathematical formula, and instead it is a process of gathering, analyzing, and interpreting customer feedback to understand their needs, preferences, and pain points. It combines various matrices like NPS, CSAT, and customer effort score. Then customer satisfaction index, it is another comprehensive score where 5 key factors are taken into account, and the average score is calculated and converted into percentage out of 5, because these are assessed on the scale from 1 to 5. So this is all for today. Please watch my second lecture to get more of the customer analytic matrices. Thank you.